And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth. Centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, and so much more. Over 80 show categories, show areas of consumer advocate content where we're going to help you win in any marketplace. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We want to help you win. And how do you engage us? A couple ways to help you win is engaging us at consumerqb.com. You could submit the form at consumerqb.com. That's our website, blog site, a plethora of information. All of our expert contributors are listed there as well. You can see their contact information, website information. You can also watch our live stream television show version of the show at consumerqb.com. Just click on the live stream as well as from WeBeam TV. And we are Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio and back in studio. Jason Avery, Avery Construction, Avery Remodeling. Also, he's an author as well. Constructing Success, a blueprint for a referral-based business. Welcome in, sir.
Thanks for having me, Brandon. It's great to be here always.
Yeah, my pleasure, man.
I'm thinking today I've got a little advice we can lend to the investors out there.
Okay.
So everybody wants to talk to me about flipping homes and trying to get the big estimates and thinking they're going to hire a general contractor, which isn't the case if you plan on making any money. But I've got some good tips to help those guys out.
Yeah, I like that, man. Real estate's such a hot market. You know, so many. It's well known that real estate has created more millionaires than any other sector of the economy. And Jason Avery, definitely one of the best in the business to advise you on that. So we're going to talk about that. Also, back in studio, Abe Moussa, Total Title Solutions, President Total Title Solutions, also has a great restaurant in Clearwater, Abe's Place, casual dining and everyday eats. So welcome back in, sir.
Glad to be back. I want to talk what Jason's saying is that buying real estate is not for amateurs. Really. You can't win real estate.
Yeah.
So buyer be aware. We want to talk about corporate fraud today and how you can be defrauded as a buyer.
Corporate fraud, it's huge. Attorney Sean Yesner talked about that yesterday on the show. We were talking about that, and such an important area. There's so much fraud going on with the escrows, the deposits, the title funds, sending that wire. Abe Moussa, Total Title Solutions, going to talk about that with you today. And
Abe, bring us some chicken wings today.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
The office today. I'm sorry.
Abe's Place is the best boneless chicken wings in the world, man.
Yeah, man. Awesome food.
Next time you come here, Abe, you got better bring
friendly staff over there.
I promised to buy 10 books of his. That's why you said that.
Yeah. Also in studio, Mary is in the house. Mary Surnicki. Did I pronounce that right? All right.
You did.
Mary Surnicki and Suncoast Roofing, expert roofing in the business here, and welcome in. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm excited. We're going into hurricane season June 1st, so love to give you guys some tips about what to look for, especially with your roof.
Yeah, absolutely. Hurricane season right around the corner. Whoa, man. We're getting those. I sign up for those Bay News 9 alerts, and I get those news texts that pop up. We hit a record number here again. It was 94. Now it was 98 or whatever the number is. So we're seeing that heat. So I'm hoping that it's not going to translate into more activity during hurricane season. So, we'll say some prayers on that. But we're back here in studio, and we want to help you win in any marketplace. And we want to remind you we're a consumer advocate here. So we talk a lot about different areas of business and finance, estate planning, tax planning, credit, identity theft prevention. There's a lot of different areas where we want to help you with. And we also start off the show with a little personal development. I also wrote a book. It's Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. We're helping folks understand how they can start a podcast, start their own radio show. We've got a really cool thing where we're actually syndicating this into other markets, but I'm also a professional speaker and motivational speaker. So I've got some quick tips here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Dr. Edward Banfield of Harvard. He conducted a 50-year study into the study of socioeconomic mobility in the United States and other countries. So in short, how to get rich, how to make more money, and what are the reasons why some folks move up that economic ladder and some kind of struggle with that. And after a long time study, and here's some really neat stats. Today in the U.S., there are over 10 million millionaires, according to Forbes. There's 1,826 billionaires and 290 new billionaires in 2015 alone. And ultimately, when you look at that, Banfield wanted to know what is the common denominator of the perspective of these folks that are being able to get rich and to move up that socioeconomic ladder. And the number one factor regarding where you come from is time perspective. How long you take into account for each decision that you make on a daily basis. So, for example, the hopeless drunk or addict, he's looking at, hey, where can I get my next fix? Whereas opposed to that, someone who's gone to education for a long year, doctors, attorneys, contractors, anybody that's went to school for a long time, they're looking at long term, and they're going to be focusing on activities that are goal achieving versus tension relieving. A lot of times those tension relieving activities are not going to help you in the long term. So there's your nuggets of advice and your 2-minute quarterback tip here from the quarterback here on the show. So let's go ahead and jump into this great content. Jason Avery, Avery Construction. I love this idea of coming in and talking a little bit about real estate flipping. So many people are wanting to get involved with that. What are you seeing out there?
Well, we go out to all the major home shows to promote the construction business, and while we're out at these shows, I'm going to get approached at least 10 times by investors. A lot of the, DIY guy who's going to, try and get the complete estimate from the general contractor, but with no regard to what his budget is and where his margins need to land.
Right.
And we find that they're never going to actually hire the general contractor. They want to be the general contractor.
Right.
So we've actually created a power team of different trades professionals that we can trust to recommend. And we've put all these people into a rack card type of an advertisement so that when I get approached by these investors, I can simply hand them the card and say, these are the people that I would hire to do the project.
Nice.
And I suggest you call them. But the key in that is licensed professionals.
Yes.
And that's the thing that investors really need to remember is that any aspect of the interior of the home, whether it's a wall that requires framing, or moving a receptacle, which is electric, or your fire safety and the smoke detectors, or the hot waters, plumbing, there's about 40 designations of contractor trades-oriented licenses. Handyman is not one of those designations. It does not exist, and all these things that you move or manipulate within a home typically require the permit. And when it comes to getting the work done, we find that there's those who, just draw the shades, and it often bites them when they go to try and do the actual flip and go to sell. And I'm sure that Abe can probably shed some light on that topic in the title business, where you come up with these homes that had unpermitted work done, and now that's an issue at that time of sale. I'm sure, how many times have you encountered it, Brandon, in real estate?
It happens.
So, hiring the right professionals, that's a key to it, but also understanding your place in the investment. And I've attended several different types of investor networking meetings where you find there's 3 general types of investors. You get those who do the wholesaling. They're the ones that put the sign on the side of the road that says, we're going to buy your house for cash. And their intent is to make, $2,000 to $5,000 for a quick flip, as they're going to turn it over to the next tier of investor, who tends to be the fix and flip kind of guy.
Right.
And then that person is now often going to turn around and flip it yet to potentially another investor who's going to keep it in holding as more of the rental income property.
Great point.
And so understanding where you fit in that equation and what the end game is, can seriously change the way that you approach it.
Well said, man. Yeah, you break that down. I mean, you look at, and let's face it, you turn on the TV, you turn on the radio, you hear some so-called guru going to teach you how to make millions in real estate, but all you have to do is pay $99.95 for the course, and it's going to take your money, and you just basically broke it all down right there for them. I mean, what they're going to do is say, hey, you want to go out there, you want to be a bird dog, you want to go put the signs in the ground, or maybe run ads somewhere. We're going to teach you how to do wholesaling, and that's tier 1. You said. Then you got the guy that comes in and says, hey, I'm going to actually do the work. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to beautify this home that might be an eyesore in the neighborhood. And ultimately, that's their niche. And then I love the play of a long-term buy and hold right now. People have been doing it for a couple of years. This long-term buy and hold, you're buying an asset. It's going to appreciate depending on the financing, or maybe if you're cash on it. But then you look at the rents rising in Tampa Bay. Man, what a great investment real estate is.
I'm actually, before I walked into the studio today, was just on the phone, and we're we're putting in an offer on the next little rental property that I'm looking to pick up. But, people are focused in this South Tampa area where things are flying off the market.
Yep.
Just outside of our greater Tampa Bay area, and the area is like Hernando County.
Yep.
And you had a lot of homes that were built during the boom.
Yep.
And big square footage, big floor plans, maybe some cheap materials inside, laminated, cabinets or linoleum flooring. But that's easily improved and updated. And so these big shells, are starting to come available. A lot of those builders just rolled them into rentals over time,
right,
to keep, a positive cash flow or an even cash flow at least. Stop going backwards.
Yeah.
Now some of those are available for pickup. I'm even finding a lot of, I prefer the smaller home, the 1,300 square foot 3.2, that I'm picking some of these up for $50,000.
Wow.
And just to do the math at the price per square foot. As South Tampa continues to swell out, we've got these expressways now that travel you quick. And Hernando's one of the next little golden nuggets up there that, some property values are going to be rising.
Oh, yeah. Anywhere around Tampa Bay, you're seeing a great increase in appreciation in this Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Bradenton, Sarasota. What a great place to live, work, and play. Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater. And then you got the whole Gulf Coast, big signal here on the station. So we're talking to folks down in Venice as well right now, Sarasota area. What a great place. And you look at real estate, Jason Avery, the best in the business when it comes to assessing a home remodel or construction type of a program for you and helping you with that. Also coming up, we're going to talk with Abe Moussa, Total Title Solutions, and serial entrepreneur. He owns multiple businesses, and Abe's Place has a restaurant in Clearwater, and going to talk a little bit about some of the fraud things happening in that space, wire frauds. We talked about that in previous shows, and it's more and more prevalent now. And later in the show as well, we're going to talk with Mary Surnicki, Suncoast Roofing, our official roofing partner here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Talk about some of these different warranties. You got GAF warranties now for 50 years. It's unbelievable some of the things you can do with the Real Estate Quarterback Show and the connections that we have here. We're going to help you win. We're going to position you to win as a consumer advocate here, help you go against the nonsense in the mainstream media and make you just a bit more street smart out there. So stay with us. More consumer advocate content to come.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect 98.75% patient satisfaction. 50,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Over half our patients have suffered from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. Featured in Florida Realtor Magazine, Top Agent Magazine, the Tampa Bay Business Journal. Also was reached out to by HGTV. Got something cool coming up with them. But a lot of cool things happening here around the Quarterback Show, Platinum. We got a couple of open houses going on this weekend. Check us out tomorrow over here at 10616 Cape Hatteras Drive, Palm Bay. It's a gated community within a gated community. $398,000. Beautiful pool home with a spa here. Conservation lot behind you. 10616 Cape Hatteras Drive in Tampa, and beautiful Palm Bay. Kind of that Bayport area, that town and country area here, just west of Hillsborough Sheldon Memorial intersection in Tampa. Also, another open house as well in the same community. Come check out both of these houses at the same time. 5208 East Longboat Boulevard in Tampa. Bayside West, gated community as well. $855,000 just reduced, and it's a great opportunity. Magnificent waterfront home here, Mediterranean home, 4,100 square feet, beautiful property right on a gorgeous lake, and you got bay access here with both of these houses as well. If you purchase the Longboat property, you got your own boat dock, but with Cape Hatteras, you have an opportunity to buy a separate boat dock. But check it out at our website, consumerqb.com, platinummvprealty.net as well. You can see those listings there, and save our hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372, 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline. Anything you hear today on the show, we'd love to engage you and help you understand a little bit more about these different areas of consumer advocacy that we're talking about. First segment, we heard from Jason Avery talking about remodeling and some of the real estate aspects of investments and the different types of investments. I want to go ahead and bring Abe Moussa into the conversation now, because he can kind of piggyback right on that. Abe is the owner of Total Title Solutions here in Tampa Bay. And Abe, you're seeing a lot of real estate transaction every week and every month. What are you seeing out there?
We do. There's a few live examples I'd like to give you today. But just to piggyback on what Jason had said, I have a follow-up question, and then I'm going to take the story from here. It's like, so my understanding is you don't need to be a general contractor to flip your own home if you hire the right trades. Am I correct?
Yes, as a homeowner, you are allowed to pull a permit on your own home as long as, again, you are bringing in the appropriate licensed trades when it comes to the aspects of electrical, plumbing, HVAC, roofing. These types of things all require the specialist. Even as a general contractor, they have to sign on under my permit. But as a homeowner, you are allowed to pull a building permit for your own home as long as you have those appropriate trades attached to it.
So earlier you heard him, he's picking properties up in Hernando County for rental. He lives in Pinellas County, so that property is far away from here. So this is what we have been seeing lately, and it's something totally bizarre that we need actually some sort of a bill or law passed for that. I can go right now on Sunbiz, all right, and change all the information about Jason Avery for that property that he bought in Hernando County, okay? And I can change it and change his LLC or his corporate record for me now owning it personally. Jason doesn't know anything about it. I changed the address. I changed everything. It's a rental property. He hasn't seen it in a year or maybe 6 months or what have you.
Wow.
Now I take this record and I go sell it. I have the right to now sell that property.
Wow.
So guess what? He's out of a property, okay? For now, he challenged that the sale that it's fraud, but the buyer's out that money. It's not like he can go
So
collect
it's a straw
the
seller in the other words, right? So it's they call it straw buyer, straw seller.
No, it's a real.
This is
a real buyer.
A legitimate scam.
It's a legit. What I'm saying is, there's nobody's straws except the seller is a straw, is a fraudulent, and I'm posing as not even Jason. I'm posing as me selling Jason's property because I hold the record. So physically today, you can go on the state website and change the corporate docs and the corporate records to show somebody else's ownership.
He's right. I actually just this week was helping a friend who's trying to start a trucking business go on Sunbiz and start his own corporation, and it has the button right there. You can click to change.
Wow.
How pathetic is that? That needs like something from the state says, wait a second, we need some sort of a control that you cannot change the record without my permission as a company.
Or at least an email triggered, hey, somebody went on and changed your ownership status.
And it's a lot to actually prove that you really do that. So what we're doing right now is, if we see that there is a change of ownership on a corporation, we're calling Jason. Jason, did you sell your company to aid or somebody. Like, we have to physically verify it. We can't just depend now on Sunbase, which was we used to do. That was our Bible for corporate record. We just go straight there and get the corporate record and see who has the right to sell, who has the right to buy.
Wow.
So my point is always go back every time I am on the show. Please hire the professional to help you.
Right.
Please hire the. You can't just wing real estate. You can't wing flip. You gotta be good at it. And the first of you, ask for help.
Yeah.
So that's my thing for the show today.
Yeah, verify, be proactive, ask for help. Jason, you want to chime in on that?
I was going to just say when we do renovations for people and we have to start, before we can even file for a permit, we have to file a notice of commencement, which is a filing at the clerk's office,
right.
A small fee to be paid. But as soon as we do that, that opens up our ability to put a lien on that property to ensure our payment for the work that we're doing. Well, those don't just automatically go away. A letter has to be submitted to make them go away. So I often get the phone calls from the title companies if we had just completed the work in less than 12 months and that hadn't expired yet, asking for specific letters of documentation they can use to close that out. But if there's a contractor with an unpaid balance out there for some work that was previously done on the home, you may not be able to get that free and clear waiver.
Again, buyer be aware, because if he was a dishonest, let's say, contractor, we did not get that satisfaction from him. He can actually go back after the house is sold and foreclose on the house and say, hey, you still owe me that money.
Yeah, which brings you to the whole REO space. If any of you out there that have done REO work, which I have in a former life, and man, those banks, they look for reasons not to pay. So, Mary, you've seen that happen?
I have. We've actually been hired. We've actually gone out to a property where they've, the guys have gone out, they've done an estimate, they've signed the contract with us, where we've done the notice of commencement and stuff. But when we look at it a little bit further, like it's ABC LLC that owns the property, we actually go even a step further to make sure who those people are.
Yeah.
Because we've been in a situation where now it's time to pay, and these people actually do not own this property. Somebody in California actually owns this property.
Wow.
Or Wells Fargo, the bank, owns this property. So it's a double-edged sword. You have to be, you have to be smart.
You have to be diligent. I mean, smart is it's a subjective thing, but you got to really be diligent on doing your homework so you're not taken as a buyer.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of buyers, Brandon, lose their money from either a wire fraud, which is recently, it's been rampant, like literally. And, due to our diligence recently, we averted one of those frauds to where the lady says, well, wait a second, because we send a welcome letter and explain them basically the roadmap to the transaction. And the fraudster had sent her an email, says, hey, you need to wire the money for the closing.
Yeah.
And the email came from her, appeared to be from her lender and from us as well. And the lady says, well, wait a second, your introduction letter says it's 2 weeks, 2 days before closing, not 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So she had the smart to call us.
Right.
It was a fraud. She would have lost the entire amount.
And what they'll do is they'll change one letter on that email address and kind of make it look like a ghost or same exact email address.
They added they have 2 T's on our total title instead of one, and it looks like it came from us, but it's not.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because we see this happen also with Craigslist. You see Craigslist scams out there, people looking to rent a home. I've had it happen a couple times with my different listings that I have out there for real estate, and they'll say, the rent is basically 1/3 of what it would normally be, and it sounds great, and the person wants to lock that deal up, and then they'll mail the check into a post office box, and then boom, now you know the rest of the story. You can't track it. There's no physical address. So you see that happen with real estate too. And it's such a scary space because, that's probably their first and last month. And, the folks are, they're stuck there, holding the bag of nothing at the end of that. So it's challenging.
So if any buyers out there is listening, we beg you, we say, please allow the professional to do their job. Sometimes the stuff we ask for is rather difficult or lengthy of time or maybe misunderstood, but we really, please allow us to do our jobs. That's what we're asking of you to do, because we want to protect your money and we want to protect our money, and we certainly don't want to lose your money in any way, form, or shape. We do not want to lose your money.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest investment, of course, they make, and sometimes, people could recover quickly, but other people cannot recover from that money when you're talking your whole entire life saving is gone.
Oh, it's tough. When you look at a loss like that, especially when it's, in the economy just now, starting to kind of heat back up again. People, they're making money. They're trying to do the right thing, move their family closer to a school, getting ready for the next school, whatever it might be. We want to help you as a consumer advocate. That's what we've set this show up for over 4 years ago now. We want to be that hub of your financial wheel. Each spoke extending out another one, representing another one of our preferred partners, expert contributors in over 80 show categories of consumer advocate content. So we want it to be your turnkey solution. I'm the quarterback on the team. I'm a quarterback these introductions to all of our expert contributors, and we're going to help you win in any marketplace: credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, construction, health and nutrition. We have a lot of folks that can help you. And giving a big shout out right now to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. So after the break, we're going to come back. More of our expert contributors. We're having a real estate roundtable discussion here. Jason Avery in the house, Avery Construction, Abe Moussa, Total Title Solutions, and Mary Surnicki, Suncoast Roofing. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, And I got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about. 701 East Crenshaw Street in Tampa. Harmony Heights, 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, and $262,000. Just reduced, about 30 days on the market or so. 2,358 square feet heated, and a beautiful remodel. Talk about real estate flipping and remodeling. This has been done right. The seller on this one, Roberto, did a great job, him and his team. All right, 7657 132nd Way in Seminole, Whispering Forest. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath property, 2,400 square feet, $417,000, just reduced over $10,000 here, and it's a pool home and a great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. A couple of hot listings from Platinum MVP Realty, and we'd love for you to engage us with our consumer advocate hotline here at 813-670-7372. Anything that you hear on the show today, we'd love to hear back some feedback, some comments. Maybe shoot a text message to 813-670-7372, and our website is consumerqb.com. All of our expert contributors are listed there at consumerqb.com. And giving a big shout out to Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora in beautiful St. Pete Beach. It's the first new hotel built on St. Pete Beach in decades. Spanish ancestry meets cool Mediterranean attitude. Whitewashed Mediterranean palace with expansive luxury suites with balconies overlooking the intercoastal waterway. Rooftop yoga on the weekends, and if you're a boater like me, I love to get out there with Freedom Boat Club on the weekends. You can pull your boat right up to the dock, come out and have some drinks by the pool, hang out in the hot tub, and also visit the Castile restaurant, breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, the Hotel Zamora on St. Pete Beach. And back here in studio, all-star lineup, Intelligent Talk Radio, Jason Avery in the house, Avery Construction, Avery Remodeling, Abe Moussa, Total Title Solutions, and also the owner of Abe's Place, casual dining restaurant in Clearwater. And Mary Surnicki in the house as well, Suncoast Roofing, and let's talk about that for a little bit, Mary. When we look at Suncoast, you guys are an awesome team over there. You're statewide, but you still have that family feel, that small business feel.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the things about hiring a licensed contractor is sometimes when you go with larger companies, sometimes you lose that individual, relationship with the person that's working on your home. And your home is your biggest investment. Yeah. So at Suncoast, we really believe, from the first person that comes out to do an estimate, to the production manager that's arranging your job, to, the crew that's on there, everybody works for Suncoast Roofing. We don't sub our work out. We know the people that are on your home, and if you have a problem, you can get you're not getting hold of an 800 number. You're talking to us,
right.
And every time if you have an issue or a problem, you're calling us right away because, we install, we're installing about 54 roofs, this week. And, in 54 roofs, it's construction. There might be an issue or might be a problem. You want to
one or two, right?
One or two. You want to go through with a company that is going to be able to be an expert and to really, be a craftsman and know what to do when there's an issue or a problem or something you can't see. Because sometimes when you're tearing off a roof, you don't really know what that underlayment looks like. And then when you're taking that, the decking off, you might have a problem with some trusses, and we've got some great partners in the area so that if there is a issue that we have to refer it over to a general contractor or something for truss issues, we can do that and really quickly.
Yeah, and that's the big thing too. When we looked at, we spoke with Chuck on the show before, and I love the fact that you guys have this GAF Master Elite qualification, and you're able to offer a 50-year warranty. I didn't even know that was a deal. I thought it was like 20-30 years until I met Chuck. So let's talk about that. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, we are a Master Elite dealer with GAF, and it's just a fraction of contractors that are in the state of Florida. And, they hold us to higher standards. We have to do certain things in order to do that. We have to renew it every 12 months. It's not like we get this, sticker and all of a sudden we can give these warranties. And it's not just a salesman, we're not going out there and having the salesman, sell you something that isn't true. Right. Integrity is very important to our customers. And, we've had people that have called and said, I know that I have GAF shingles. Is that a 50-year warranty? And it's funny because the company, you can call them up and say, this is the issue I'm having with this shingle,
Yep.
and they'll come out and take a look at it, or we'll come out and take a look at it for you, and help you negotiate with that company.
Yeah, and you look at a warranty like that, it's also transferable one time, I believe, if you sell the house. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's a great feature, because some people are like, well, I won't live 50 years. And I'm like, well, that's not where we're going with this. But you can transfer it. So if you're going to sell your home, or you're going to leave it to a family member, at least you know that there's value there. And it's definitely a negotiating tool too when you're selling your home,
Right.
and you're talking to that seller,
And we're in the process, my fiance, of building a house, and she's looking at these different brochures that Chuck gave us last time, and pretty neat to see that there's some pretty cool options now when it comes to color. You have multiple colors that you can use and combinations. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and we don't only just install shingle, we also install metal and tile roofs.
Yep.
Down in like Sarasota, Bradenton, tile is huge.
Yeah.
So, and it takes that takes craftsmanship. It's a very special. A lot of people can install shingles, but when you get to the tile or the metal, they're very different installers.
And there's no best, right? So it comes down to preference. What would you say in that? If somebody says, what's the best roof? I mean, it depends on what the ultimate gain is, the end result, right?
Yeah, it really goes to what your eye is attracted to. Like I love the American Harvest shingles that we offer, it's GAF shingles.
Yeah.
I love the way it looks on the roof,
Yep.
So, if it was my home, I would tend to go that way. But, I had a customer in Newport Richey that loved the metal roof, and we offer about 8 different styles. And one of the ones that I like is the golf lock, because I like, not seeing those screws and stuff,
Right,
and
right.
having the look and the feel of like that metal roof.
Yeah, yeah, and then you ask someone in the South that maybe that has that kind of a country thing, they love that sound of the rain hitting that metal roof.
Right.
I mean, that's traditionally what you hear there. But if you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, and I'm the host of the Quarterback Show here in studio today. We've got Intelligent Talk Radio, and we're helping you win in any category here. Consumer advocate content. Jason Avery's in the house. Abe Moussa with Total Title Solutions, and currently we're talking with Mary Surnicki, Suncoast Roofing. And you guys, we talked about last time too. We're going into this potential season of storms. Here we go. And I know last year Chuck was real busy on that East Coast. A lot of crews running over there. You guys did a lot of work on that East Coast as well, right?
Yeah, we really got affected with Hurricane Matthew, and a lot of people don't think about their roof until there's a problem, until
Right.
there's a leak. Those storms, even though it didn't do catastrophic damage to their homes, it was, if they had a flat deck or if they had flat roofing, it took that TPO right up, and people don't, insulation is key so that doesn't happen, to your home in the future and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, if, you can call us, we can come out, take a look at your roof. We have a whole repair side of our company too. So if you don't need a new roof,
Yeah.
we'll say, hey, this is what we recommend, but if you've got about 3 points on your roof where there are some problems, we're going to recommend that, you re-roof that, because you have some issues going down to that underlayment and decking, and it might not be that important to you today, but if there's a storm, that's when it's going to be important.
Yeah, 813-670-7372. Tampa number at 813-670-REQB. And Jason, you had a comment?
Yeah, I was going to say part of the key in their success is, again, by having their in-house employees. And that's
Right.
kind of the way we're set up at Avery Construction, and I attribute to a lot of our successes. You get the same people doing the same task day in, day out. They have the opportunity to learn from mistakes and grow and become experts at it, as opposed to the people who are hiring the subcontractors. One day he's working with the roofer, the next day he thinks he's a plumber, and the next day he's trying to do some electrical work.
That's right.
And, those jacks of all trades, again, the handyman, it's something to be scared about. But notice that she talked about the project manager and the layers of people that are built in to protect you. You can't have the cheapest price and also have the best quality, but you got to be so leery of that cheapest price, because so many of those contractors that just employ 3 to 5 men, they're often robbing from Peter to pay Paul on these projects. So they might be taking your deposit just to finish up the job they're trying to leave. And when problems happen, it can bankroll these guys right over. And they're here today, gone tomorrow. So
That's
having
true.
that established business, that established company. And it's not about how you start the job, it's about how you finish that job.
Yeah.
And how do you face the obstacles and the challenges that you might be faced with? How many resources do you have at your disposal to solve those problems?
Yeah, that's important. You look at that, Mary, and that's something that.
And even contractors that they'll come out and we'll go out to a customer's house and they're like, well, do you need like $5,000 down? And we're like, no, that's not what we do. We're not looking for that bulk of money down. We get paid, when the job is complete. That's when payment is due upon completion. Because those kind of contractors that do require so much down and stuff, you have to be leery because that money is being used to pay for that last job, not for your home.
Right. Yeah. Got to be careful about that.
And as she mentioned, when you actually see the leak inside your home on the ceiling, you're about 4 layers too late from the general contractor's point of view.
Yeah.
You've taken the water beyond the dry ends, through the decking, now down into the insulation, across the trusses, and into the drywall and textures and paints. There's a lot of repair work to be done there. So, don't wait until you see the leak.
Yeah, and I remember on one of the last shows as well, Chuck said that there's this new film that you put underneath as well that kind of locks out some of that moisture, kind of acts as a layer of glue there.
Yeah, we do use peel and stick, and that does, and we, double stick, peel and stick in the valleys and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, that definitely does help. But it is funny that you say that because people think like it's the shingle and then their ceiling in their living room. And that's just not the case,
Yeah, definitely. A little bit between there, right?
So, Abe, as you're closing on the homes these days, are you seeing a lot of the people who come to the closing table and then all of a sudden they find out that their 3-point inspection is going to force them to now have to do a roof and all to satisfy insurance? Or?
I have a real statistics on that one. We 29% of all deals that comes our way falls apart, and the majority of it due to inspection, more so than the actual appraised value. Because as you know, which is you should mention that earlier, if your house within 3 years, if your roof within 3 years of lifespan, the insurance requires that you either replace it or do something with it.
That's right.
Otherwise, you're not going to be insured. If you're not insured, the deal's not going to be closed.
Yeah.
You basically
50 years. That's pretty
you
good.
have to have that licensed contractor like Suncoast Roofing being willing to put it in writing that roof's going to last, more than 3 years.
Absolutely. I like that. All right. So stay with us.
I have a follow-up question for her, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does the warranty goes on all your roof?
The GAF 50 year is just on the shingle. We use Gulf Coast is where we purchase our metal from. They have 40 year, so we can offer 40 year on the metal and the tile.
All right, awesome. When we come back, more from our expert contributors, Jason Avery, Avery Construction, Abe Moussa, Total Title Solutions, Mary Surnicki, Suncoast Roofing, and we're going to do our top 10 Memorial Day destinations in the South. We always have some fun with our top 10 list. So today it's the top 10 Memorial Day destinations in the South here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Jackie Skelton from JR World Travel here. If you travel, you need a licensed professional travel consultant, not a computer. Your licensed professional consultant can get you more for your time and your money. Value for your money and experience, not marketing salesmanship. When you're sick, you call the doctor. When you need legal advice, you call an attorney. So the next time you want to go on any type of travel, call your licensed professional travel consultant who actually represents you. We specialise in group travel, family reunions, weddings, to escorting large groups or making special arrangements for the disabled. Please call 844-249-0190. We are a full-service travel consultancy offering worldwide concierge service. Air, land, sea, rivers, resorts, locally, nationally and internationally. Remember that number, 844-249-0190.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, Intelligent Talk Radio, helping you win in any marketplace. That's the goal of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And giving a big shout out to our official restaurant partner. Hula Bay is our official restaurant partner, 5210 Tyson Avenue in beautiful South Tampa. And go say hello to Todd. He's the general manager over there. And waterfront dining, excellent ambiance, waterfront dining with a wide variety on the menu. The sushi is the best in Tampa Bay. The tuna is shipped in fresh from Hawaii every 2 days. So Hula Bay, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, also goes off on the weekends. A great place to be on the weekends. Got the music, live bands a lot of times. You've got the Duke's Retired Surfer Bar down there as well. So it's a great place to go have fun. And we're back here in studio. AM 1380 The Biz, helping you win. And we got the top 10 Memorial Day travel destinations coming up. And in studio today, Jason Avery, Avery Construction, Avery Remodeling, also Constructing Success Blueprint from a referral-based business. And also Abe Moussa, Total Title Solutions in the house. And Mary Surnicki, Suncoast Roofing, here in studio as well, talking about some of these different things happening with this marketplace and some of the warranties available on roofs these days. And we are back here in studio. And let's go ahead and jump into this top 10 list. What do you say? You want to jump into that?
Hey.
All right, so top 10 Memorial Day travel destinations since...
in the South, you said.
In the
right?
South, that's right. In the South.
And have you ever been to Jenny Springs on Memorial Day?
Oh, I've heard of it.
Goodness. You can
I've heard of that.
The University of Gainesville shuts down, and all of the college kids go to Jenny Springs.
Wow.
It is the most insane party. Not recommended for families. I learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah.
I took 2 small children with me in the car, and we saw lots of things that they probably should not have seen. But needless to say, the next year, my wife and I found a babysitter and went back without them.
There you go. Nice. Way to go. Way to do it. Well, that didn't make Southern Living's top 10, but I have heard of that. I heard it's a lot of fun, kind of floating down the river type deal.
Oh, it's a great deal.
That's awesome. Abe, you want to take a stab?
Honeymoon Island?
Honeymoon Island. Let's see.
One of the top 10.
Dunedin, Honeymoon Island, not on the top 10 list here for the top 10 Memorial Day travel destinations according to SouthernLiving.com. Mary?
One of the best
What
beaches in the
about
world.
Clearwater Beach?
Clearwater Beach should be on this list, but I am telling you, somebody messed up on this list then.
Yeah.
They left off. So Clearwater Beach, St. Pete Beach should be on here. But let's go. Let's start with the top 10. So number 10, Jacksonville. So they're saying Jacksonville. Well, let's think about it from the South, though. People from Virginia, people from...
Said St. Augustine, maybe. It's right outside
what
of
the heck is
Jacksonville.
in
Jacksonville, I don't think they'd come back.
They got a beach. I don't know.
It's actually one of the largest populated cities in the country. It's like number 3 or 5 on the list.
It's big as far as square foot, too.
We got an
city.
office there, by the way.
Nice. Total title.
Yeah. In Deerfield Park.
We do
Per
do
square
roofs
footage.
there.
Yeah, per capita type deal. All right, number 9, Asheville, North Carolina. I've heard nice things about Asheville. You guys ever been?
Nope.
No.
think
John
that's
says
where-
yes.
John.
I think that's where Chuck lives.
Yeah? That's right. He's got a place up that way. I remember him
Picturing
saying
some
that.
mountains and a river and, catching some trout. Is that what
Sounds
you do
like
there?
fun. Yeah. All right, so I didn't realize this is considered the South, but St. Louis, Missouri. They're saying that's a travel destination. Number 7, Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Okay.
Okay, where did he get this list?
Hey, the
SouthernLiving.com.
The Beau Rivage in
Anthony,
Biloxi,
they're giving you a hard time, man.
That's an all right destination.
Number 6, Austin. Weekend Guide, Austin,
Okay,
Texas.
I'll agree with that.
Austin's a pretty cool city, I heard. Number 5 on the list, Charleston, South Carolina. And this
My sister-in-law is having a bachelorette party June 10th there.
nice.
So, yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Top 10 Memorial Day travel destinations according to southernliving.com. Number 4, Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
In there.
That'd be cool.
That's an interesting place to go.
Is that Pigeon Forge, Sevierville,
yes,
that whole
exactly.
area?
Pigeon Forge. You got Dollywood up there. You've got, obviously Gatlinburg itself is a cool little town to walk through.
Yeah.
If you go in the winter, they got the ski slopes.
It's nice up there. Yeah, we went. I went my senior year. My cousin was singing at Dollywood at the time, and she was a performer there. But yeah, it's really cool. We rented a cabin in the woods.
Yeah,
it's
that's
pretty cool.
an interesting place to go if you got a group or a large family you're trying to take, because they have a lot of those cabins that you can get that are 4, 5, 6 bedrooms and with game rooms and hot tubs on balconies.
Yeah,
and, a beautiful view, of course, overlooking.
That's cool.
Might want to give it a year or two to green back up, because they just recently had a lot of fires.
Big fires.
That's right. Yeah, I heard that. That's right. All right, so number 4.
Very well-rounded. I like
really
that.
am. About travel, yes.
All right, so what about number 3 here? The Historic Triangle in Virginia.
That's the
historic
south.
triangle.
That's like the north. Well, I'm from Florida, so I think you're all telling me to go north.
That's cold for me. I played football in Virginia. That was too cold for me. All right, number 2 on the list, one of my favorites, and I think, Jason, one of yours too. I think you've been down there, the Keys, the Florida Keys.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going again in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, the Florida Keys, man. That's a great place. I had a lot of fun.
Fishing out of Key West, there's nothing better.
Yeah, we had some fun. Went down there a little while back. Captain Smith, Vision Aviation partner on the show, flew us down and had a good time. Went and caught some yellowfin and took it right into the restaurant there, and they cooked it fresh from the boat.
Oh, that's the best.
That's a great way to do it right there.
Plan.
All right, number 1. Who's going to give me number 1? Anybody? Out of anything we've guessed so far? Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, they're saying is number 1. We're saying Clearwater, St. Pete, Tampa.
Well, if you like to golf, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. So that's your top 10 travel destination, southernliving.com. So, having some fun with you here on the Quarterback Show. If you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We got Jason Avery in the house. Avery Construction, kitchens, bathrooms, room additions. We've got Abe Moussa, Total Title Solutions, and also the owner of Abe's Place. Got an awesome restaurant there in Clearwater, casual dining, and everyday eats. And also Mary Surnicki, Suncoast Roofing here, rounding out our real estate roundtable discussion. So now we're going to go ahead and jump into our lightning round. Top tips, things to do, things to avoid, nuggets of advice. Jason Avery, you're up first.
So for the investors out there trying to keep track of the various trades they're going to go into their fix and flip, they can visit our website at averyconstruction.com. And right on the home page, if they scroll down to the bottom, there's a document that they can do a free download, which is basically just a one-pager that kind of breaks it out and line items it for you. Permitting, demolition, framing, and masonry, and drywall, and electric, and plumbing, and everything you need, right down to a little sub-list of parts and pieces. So if you're just getting started and you're getting bids from other people, you can use this document to track your bids and summarize your total budget into the job. For those that are the more advanced investor, have done this a couple times.
Yep.
I actually run a consulting company called Constructing Success, where I teach other general contractors how to price jobs right, and we have a very extensive Excel spreadsheet available as a tool for them that is an item for sale. It comes along with 2 hours of coaching on how to use it, how to properly price jobs.
I like that.
Within that, we build in the referrals to a whole variety of different referral partners that can actually help them. Those plumbers, electricians, HVAC.
Turnkey solution.
Exactly. So,
great.
Get the right advice, use the right tools. That's my feedback for you.
Love it. Abe Moussa.
Well, first of all, congratulations is in order. I love your new studio.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. It's nice. It's awesome.
Appreciate
congrats. My advice today, I will go along with Mary. Please don't hire anybody that asks you for money up front. That's one thing I do know that. Please don't. If they need the money that bad, they do not need to do your work.
Yep.
And lastly, on that one, buyer be aware. Please take your time to make the right decision and do your homework before you sign that executed contract. Be as it may, whether you're hiring Mary for a roof or Jason for remodel, just ask more questions.
That's right.
But I definitely will hire people like them who doesn't ask you for money up front.
Yeah, I like that. Be diligent in your research. Check them out online. Do the research. Look at the reviews on Google. Ask for referrals as well.
I got to add one thing about this one, and I hear this a lot. Okay, but it's not my fault or something in that nature. And I've always said to somebody, so when you get rear-ended Certainly, it was not your fault, but damn, it's your problem to deal with it.
Yeah.
Now you're late. You gotta fix your car. You gotta. So why suddenly stop if you can actually not? You know what I mean? Like, don't have to do that. So it may not be your fault, but certainly it's your problem to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. Take responsibility for your actions. You know, if it happens, you know, it could have been avoided if you would have taken different decisions in a lot of cases.
That's right.
So, yeah, great nuggets of advice there from Abe Moussa, Total Title Solutions. Mary Surnicki.
You know, my thing it would be June 1st starts hurricane season.
Yep.
You know, as a company, we really experienced that last year with Hurricane Matthew. Get someone out there, take a look at your roof, play a little bit of offense instead of the defense that you're going to play. Because you really need to have some. If you know that you have an issue in your roof, like you've probably seen the little spots and stuff like that, have somebody out there before, you know, the wind comes and the storms come and then it's raining every day. Because once, you know, rainy season starts, you know, if you've ever tried to call a roofing company to get somebody out there, you know, sometimes we can get out there and tell you what we can do, but sometimes you're like, you know, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, you know, for us to be able to come out and fix the problem. So, you know, we come out, do a free estimate, and, you know, hurricane season is starting.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason?
When you're getting that roofing done, and at that time, ask your roofer about investigating the hurricane strapping. Because these days with our 4-point inspections, you know, you can reduce the amount of homeowners insurance that you're paying for with, you know, a better roof, with making sure the appropriate hurricane strapping's in place.
And the clips.
And, exactly. And, you know, people approach me as a general contractor to crawl through the attic into the little, you know, deepest, darkest creases of it, you know, to try and install straps. That's just not realistic. And but while they're doing the roofing, they can pull up a little decking from the outside edges and solve that problem all at once. You might actually find yourself getting a little credit back.
I like it. I like it. I want to thank all of our expert contributors. I want to thank our producers, team behind the scenes making this show happen. And we want to remind you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Something as simple as packing up leftover food you may have, carrying it with you to and from your commute to work, handing it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community. There's multiple ways that you can get involved. You can donate your time. You can donate clothes. You can donate money. But do something this summer to help someone else. Be kind to others. And continue to tune into the Quarterback Show for your top consumer tips, things to do, things to avoid. We want to help you win in any marketplace, thinking about that hub of the financial wheel, the business wheel, and all the best in the Tampa Bay market. So Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.